Trust the unknown. Look, see how much you've changed. See the difference in your perspective. Remember all those years you were so fearful, trying to peek ahead, trying to see what the future held. Remember how upset you got, how uncertain and abandoned you felt because you didn't know the plan? Now life has taken you to a whole new place. A new place for you, but a place that is ancient, all along. You were not supposed to be getting the answers about what the future held. You were supposed to be learning the magical way of trust and inner guidance, learning to feel your way through, trusting and committing to your vision, your energy, your purpose, your place, each day and the moment along the way. You are supposed to be learning how to allow the universe to magically unfold and trust that it would. You've been learning the lesson. You have been learning it well. See how you delight in life's magic now, the surprises, the not knowing, the absolute trust in the universe to bring you your answers, manifest your visions, and help you when you cannot see. How much you cherish your relationship to the universe, a relationship so much broader and encompassing, so much more vital than you could ever imagine. See how joyfully you walk your path, enjoying all the sights, opening your heart to loved ones and to strangers. See how relevant it really is when you're not able to see ahead. Not knowing has taught you about life's magic. It has connected you to yourself and the universe. It has connected you to God. Not knowing has taught you now that you know more than you could ever imagine. This is by Melody BT, Journey to the Heart, and we are at Inspired Word Cafe, and you're about to see some amazing performers. We have Kelsey Klip from Nelson, BC, so let's give her a warm welcoming.
All right, thank you guys for having me out. Thanks to the Inspired Word Cafe for inviting me after many months of planning and intentions. They're now fulfilled, so thanks, guys. My name is Kelsey Klip, and this first poem that I'm going to share with you guys is called Lights in the Night. We are but bright stars in the night sky, but how dark do we go in our balanced ways of being as dark as the night, as dark as the woods, and as dark as the mud that lines the hoofs? There's rays and rain that'll cleanse, and rays will always shine through, because there's rainbow luminescence through and through. Now see, every spectrum goes on, and there are both sides to these tides, so we gotta harmonize your side and then mine and then one. Ebb and flow deeply beyond any reason, sharing kisses on the May Day, rising into love sweetly, and singing like wolves on Hallows evening. I feel the earth beneath my feet, and that is as balancing as it needs to be. Toes in the mud of consciousness, head bared to the skies, sweetly and softly and softly and sweetly. With strength of 1,000 ancestors, the light breaks through the caverns between our eyes. Pendulums may wave back and forth, and there'll be a jade-like reprise to the feelings of love's truest course, to the feelings of being alive, to the feelings of a human being simply being. Blessings in light and dark, we are but bright stars. Yeah, so I'm right now in the midst of a transition. For the last few years, I've been helping out and volunteering with the Nelson Poetry Slam Collective, part of their council, and hosting events, features, workshops, from festivals to just locally in Nelson. Moving actually back to Edmonton to partake in their slam scene, which is huge and bustling, and just great little transition right now to be sharing with you guys here. So again, thank you. This next one is an ode to my ancestors called Conozco mi gente. This one's for my ancestors, the ones with the war cries over the Andes, heard from the condor that flies above me, meeting the eagle in the north in the sky prophecies. I feel you in my blood. That's a knowing beyond any other, though the language slips my tongue. So I gotta immerse myself and align with the eye. Conozco mi gente, mi mami dice. So I listen, I look out, searching for los ojos almendras, los ojos grandes, with grandness to see the spirit come alive within we, as we honor the sacred lineage with our history in the soil and in the sky. Soy un media chilena, toros de Pachamama, con un corazón que canta a la luna y piel que baila como el agua. See, this my soul knows, and there's no distance that can disconnect what is. Though pains of the coup may try to, I'm here to speak for the ones left alive, behind, here or far gone, for the ones who have turned their eyes to the pain and trauma they thought they left behind. They sleep like giants in the arena, and I walk into their dreams and I see them, tucking their pains away so that they can sleep in peace, singing songs of freedom, joy, and harmony, and for truth, as we all know, for those to come and those before me. See, I do this for my ancestors, the ones who raised their voices, fists, and spears at the conquistadors, and the same ones who unfortunately had to stand alongside their oppressors. Here to know that there's more to who I am, flesh and all. Rojas de la Fuente, conozco mi gente. My mom would always say that phrase to me growing up. I'd have drama with friends or boyfriends or whoever, and she said, Kelsey, you remember what I said? Conozco mi gente, which means I know my people. So, there you have it. Okay, this one is called Whole. 1,000 hearts for heaven's sake are forsaken to take one whole heart to the hearth. The earth's surge of life at our ends, half there, barely here, for the wake of our willingness to go there is too strong to bear. So my hands are open to the heart's potent medicina de vida for all beings to feel it. But you transmute that feeling to believing that this really is why we are here, to love fully right now, be it with yourself or in a room full of sounds and hearts orchestrating anthems for the ageless. Turn the page from the mundane relations, the deities flying above and below, pulling you up, down, but which way do you want to go? Grow with the knowing that those lovers that you let in either led you to feast or famine. Discern and reflect on what path works best and know that this choice has you blessed. In a free world, our hearts fly within our chests, giving us lessons and tests. So ask yourself again, is this really the situation you want to be in? Cold and alone or warmed by the fire within? Because without you stoking that elemental flame, that feeling may grow thin, frail and desperate, to seek out someone to fill that family crest in the sections of you that starve for connection. I am whole and I am home. The protagonist writes and knows that this is exactly how history doesn't repeat itself. Holy scriptures at the tips of your fingers, this story is still being written. The boundaries act as sentinels for the sacred, and only those brave enough and bold may enter into the placement of this hearth, the home of the whole. Thanks, guys. Now, this next one is actually the first time I've ever performed this. I wrote it a few years ago. When I first moved to Nelson, actually, when I first went to my first poetry slam with the Nelson Poetry Slam, went home and I was so inspired and I wrote this and never shared it. So here it is. I can be real now, say what I feel now, beyond pretending on my own, I'll be real now. These feelings sink deep, so I gotta admit to where I've been defeated. My innermost thoughts got me seeing, have been treating. Bigger picture of our loves left in the light of disbelief. Believing I can be more and believing is seeing, so seeing is believing. But ain't no point scrutinizing, left tongue-tied and blinded, yet I know spirits beside me. Left to the right of life, the rite of passage is to go forth blindly, willingly, and openly. So I'm sorry for the scars I've torn open consciously, revealing an ego, feeling the full vulnerability. But check one down, at least it was just my ego. But now soaring with a heart wide open for me, though. I see, though, it's really just for you, though. I mean us, though, because reality's in the gratitude, and the gratitude is here, yo. We move, we flow, down we go. Heaven on earth, we drop down below. Love knows no sorrow. Freedom isn't hollow. Spirit opens windows so the good may follow. Letting the stagnant air flow out that window. The air that used to think that there was this and that. So if anything matters, then everything matters. Nothing is for certain, so I gotta raise my standards. Wild, young, and free, with a heart as old as anarchy, I let in so I can let go. I can be real now, say how I feel now, beyond pretending on my own, I'll be real now. So this one is a newer one as well, recently written. Right on January 1st. It was my New Year resolution to resolve the stuff that we think we need to resolve, but really, maybe that's this time that we resolve it all. So this one's called Glory Over Blessings. So some see glory, but me, I'm bound to tell this story. Add my footnotes in the foothills of these curves that I wear, singing, country roads, take me home, along with juniper berries, wild roses, and coyote hair. All that and then some, flesh and words are what I bear. Words to a song that is yet to be sung, and lessons learned from the years that I've loved. Now I thrive with a fierce tongue. I gotta speak so I can be free, and from what I've taken in now, sounding stillness is not to be seeked. Considering consistency, I am what I do, say, and think. Lessons passed down by the moon, sisters, mothers, and goddesses too, to be true to the skin suit and the souls that I wore through. I walk tall to the beat and let it sink in and sink through. I watch those wheat fields grow and grow and grow into their fullest potential. I watch the sky ignite with creation, and in an instant it all changes, yet I stay the same, not complacent, actively embracing the pull to this plane. And even that dancing sky cannot simplify the magnitude of gratitude that I feel in this place. So rather than saying, I am enough, it is a norm to chase the dragon to no end, so I'll say it for us. Sweet children of God, you are enough. We are enough. Every year we resolve by denying our truth, putting down the past as if it's our only proof as to why we are. So they fall off the bluffs. Now the only tangible blame for this saying is that whatever happened wasn't enough. So don't be fooled, be the fool. Laugh at the face of time. Know your worth and work is beyond time, and remember that everything comes from the divine. Let the choir sing out and chime. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Don't just save yourself for a new year. Remember what you seek is right here. But don't be blinded by that light. Just put some shades on and embrace you. Veto out the scales and look at a mirror standing clearer than you have ever before. Speak with conviction. Act with loving intention. Honor your path and others with peace and compassion. Because if we don't, we'll end up valuing glory over blessings. Thank you, guys. So this next one is for her. And it might touch on some subjects that might make those uncomfortable if they had experienced assault on their own, but this is for all of those who have. The truth is, my story went to our story, but now it's going to be her story. It's louder than the mystery of a lost girl being found. On the cusp of metamorphosis, she was bound into a world where her innocence was suppressed. It's either that or her beauty-induced come-ons from a man who claimed to be on your team, but really, he was just greedy for the honey. suckled far from the pines of a cruel, wicked mind. Those wicked lines got her soul, heart, and mind displaced and scattered in a realm that is bound to those lost bodies being found by following their soul sounds to the ground. So my story went to our story, but again, it's her story. It's passed through ancient ancestry, genetically woven like a tapestry. Generations set ablaze, generations as Pharaoh's slaves, generations displace, generations pass down their strengths to withstand the patriarchal pains, reshaping the future days spoken outside of old ways. We stand together now to commemorate the times that were and are. Yeah, we've but seen them all. Yet our hearts beat strong, and our minds are ready. The soul sings on through our eyes, breath, and in our kin. This will always be her story.
Thanks so much for coming out. I loved your work.
Thanks so much for having me. This was totally unique, awesome new experience, and I'm just so excited for what's to come, the snowball effect after this. So
Yeah, I guess you have a lot of change on the horizon.
yeah, a
in the
ton.
poetry scene.
Yeah, it's a new year, same me, new things.
Well, I'm just going to ask you a few questions so the audience can get to know you a little bit better. And my first question is, when did you start getting into poetry?
I was explaining just moments before we started filming this was, I've been writing poetry since I was 7 years old, since I started
wow.
keeping journals. So I've recently just burned all those journals. But before I did, I read them all and noticed how they all were poetic verse. And so, yes, since I started writing, pretty much.
Did you ever take up drama to start performing, or how did that unfold for you?
No, I was a total little tomboy. Nothing wrong with that. But, I was totally disconnected from that part of me growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Only, again, till 2 years ago did I start sharing my stuff, and that was all because of the Nelson Poetry Slam. So
that kind of got your foot in the door.
totally did.
Well,
Yes.
I love your work. It's really great.
Aw,
It's really
thank
inspiring.
you. Thank you so
too.
much. It means a lot.
So I have some funny questions to ask you, too.
Let's hear 'em.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I would love to have the ability to swim underwater and live underwater. I had this crazy obsession. Maybe it came from Franklin, the TV show, as a kid. But I just always wondered, what does it look like inside a beaver's house? So I would love to know that. But I think you have to be quite, underwater savvy, I guess, to do that.
You could always get trained scuba diving.
True, not as cool.
Sort of. So my next question is, if you had a pet sloth, what would you call him?
Fernando.
I like that name.
Don't know why, just something. I don't know. Every Latino dude that I know named Fernando is pretty chill. So
That's a good name then, right, for a sloth. Now, if I was just wondering, what kind of animal would describe you as a person? If you could choose any animal, what animal would you choose that would represent you, your spirit or your personality? There's a deep question for you.
yeah, a wolf probably. I'm quite independent and always have been. Yet I thrive and I love working within community and still having that. Wolves are part of packs, yet they're fierce on their own. And yeah, I think I'd be like a little wolf girl.
Would you be leading the pack?
Usually the leaders are at the back of the pack of wolf packs. So yes.
Keep everybody in line.
Keep them on check.
I love
Something
wolves.
like that. Yeah, or I'm in the middle. I don't know. It's all
Wolves
any
are
spot
awesome,
is
though.
cool.
They're a really good animal.
Yeah.
So, how can we find more of your work?
I'm in
for
the
you.
process right now of refining my Facebook and online things. I want to start posting videos on YouTube, but I do have a Facebook page that I do post light events and things that I'm a part of. It's just Kelsey Klip Speaks on Facebook.
Okay.
That's my main thing right now, but it's definitely a focus of this year is to kind of learn that whole branding thing.
Yeah, I really love your work. I'd love to hear it on an album.
Oh,
Too. Maybe you could have
I will plug that in there and hopefully make that happen.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. It's really appreciative to have you come. I know you drove all the way from Nelson to be here, so thank you.
Yes, for sure. It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thank you very much. And if you want to find more about the shows, you can find us at inspiredwordcafe.com. Have a good night. Bye.